Good morning po. So ngayon po, di-discuss ko po sa inyo kung papaano o ano po yung mga formula o strategies na aking ginawa para masagutan ko po yung practice exercise 1 to 7. So dito po sa practice exercise 1, ang direction po is given the vectors below, solve for the following graphically and verify your answers analytically. So ang pinili ko po dun sa mga table is yung B.1. So given po yung ating vector. So, ang hahanapin po natin is yung x component, y component, at saka yung magnitude of resultant vector and the direction. So, ngayon po, ipapakita ko po sa inyo kung paano ko po nakuha yung aking mga sagot or kung paano ko po siya nasagutan. Dito po sa B.1, sa vector AD, ang ginamit ko pong formula para makuha yung x component ay x is equal to r cosine theta. At para naman po makuha yung y, nung y component is ginamit ko po yung formula na y is equal to r sine theta. Pagkuha naman po ng magnitude of resultant vector, ang formula na ginamit ko naman po is resultant is equal to square root of x squared plus y squared. And then doon naman po sa direction, para makuha po yung direction is theta is equal to arc tan multiplied by y over x. So, yun po yung mga formula na aking ginamit para makuha ko po yung aking mga sagot. So, tandaan lang po natin na sa pagkuha po ng x and y component natin, tingnan po natin or i-check po natin sa ating graph kasi meron po tayong tinatawag na SOHCA, which means sine is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse, and then cosine is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Pwede pong magbago yung formula natin sa pagkuha natin ng x component at saka y component. Depende po kung nasaan yung adjacent at saka nasaan po yung ating hypotenuse. So, dito naman po tayo sa practice exercise 2. Ang napili ko po is yung problem 1. Ang problem 1 po is 3 kids in a parking lot launch a rocket that rises into the air along a 380-meter long arc in 40 seconds. Determine its average speed. So, para makuha po natin yung average speed, ang ginamit ko pong formula or ang kailangan po natin gamiting formula is distance over time. So, isa-substitute lang po natin. Ang distance po natin dito is yung 380 meter. Tapos, ang atin pong time is yung 40 seconds. So, isa-substitute lang po natin. 380 meter divided by 40 seconds is equal to 9.5 meter per second. So, we have practice exercise 3. So, dito po sa practice exercise 3, ang napili ko po is yung problem 1. So, ang problem po is, a baseball is thrown straight upward with a speed of 30 meter per second. Letter A, how long will it rise? Letter B, how high will it rise? Letter C, how long after it leaves the hand will it turn to the starting point? And when will its speed be 16 meter per second? So, sa letter A po, ang tinatanong po is time. So, para makuha po natin yung time, ang ating pong formula o ang aking pong ginamit na formula is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by g. So, which is g is gravity. So, since it is an upward displacement, so ang atin pong gravity is negative. So, let's substitute. So, 0 minus 30 meter per second divided by negative 9.8 meter per second squared is equal to t is equal to 3.1 seconds. So, sa letter B naman po is y is equal to initial velocity plus 1/2 gravity times t squared or the time. Yun po yung aking ginamit para makuha natin yung letter B, yung sagot po natin sa letter B. So, y is equal to 30 meter per second times 3.1 seconds plus 1 half times negative 9.8 meter per second squared times 3.1 seconds squared is equal to y is equal to 46 meters. Kasi ang tinatanong po sa letter B, how high daw po, gaano ba kataas. So, ang sagot po natin dyan is 46 meter. So, sa letter C naman po, ang tinatanong po ay how long daw po. So, ibig sabihin, how long, gaano katagal. So, ang tinatanong po dito is time. So, para po makuha po natin yung time, ang ginamit ko naman pong formula is T is equal to time. Yung T po is yung capital T, and then, kasi po meron na tayong time kanina, yung 3.1 seconds. So, let's substitute. T is equal to 2 times 3.1 seconds is equal to T is equal to 6.1 seconds. So, we have letter D naman po. So, sa letter D, when will its speed be 16 meter per second? So, yung 16 meter per second po, yun po yung ating final velocity. So, kanina po, yung sa letter A, yung tinatanong is, how long will it rise? Wala po tayong final velocity dun sa letter A na question. So, dito po sa letter D, given na po yung ating final velocity. So, gagamitin po ulit natin yung formula na ginamit ko kanina sa letter A. So, T is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by G is equal to 16 meter per second, which is our final velocity, and yung ating initial velocity is 30 meter per second. I-substitute lang po natin. 16 meter per second minus 30 meter per second divided by negative 9.8 meter per second squared is equal to T is equal to 4.4 seconds. So, let's have the practice exercise 4. Dito po sa practice exercise 4, ang pinili ko pong problem is yung problem number 1. So, ang problem number 1 po natin is, once ignited, a small rocket motor on a spacecraft exerts a constant force of 10N for 7.80 seconds. During the burn, the rocket causes the 100 kg craft to accelerate uniformly. Determine that acceleration. So, ang hinahanap po is yung acceleration. So, ang ginamit ko pong formula dito is A is equal to force net or F sub net divided by M is equal to 10N. Yun po yung ating force net. And then, yung ating mass is 100 kg. So, 10N divided by 100 kg is equal to 0.10 meter per second squared. So, dito naman po tayo sa practice exercise 5. So, sa practice exercise 5 po, ang pinili ko po is yung problem 3. So, ang problem 3 po is, during a soccer game, a ball of mass, ang mass po is 0.425 kilograms, which is initially at rest. So, ibig sabihin po, dun pa lang sa initially at rest, yung atin pong initial velocity is 0. Is kicked by one of the players. The ball moves off at a speed of 26 meter per second. Given that the impact lasted for 8.0 milliseconds, what was the average force exerted on the ball? So, ang tinatanong po is yung average force. So, ang given po natin is, ang speed is equal to 26 meter per second, ang initial velocity is equal to 0, ang mass is equal to 0.425 kg, and time is 8.0 milliseconds or 8.008 seconds. So, ang ginamit ko pong formula para makuha natin yung average force is dalawang formula po yung aking ginamit, which is A is equal to V minus initial velocity divided by T, and yung F is equal to M times A. So, una po natin gagawin is hahanapin po natin yung acceleration. So, ang formula po natin sa acceleration is A is equal to V minus initial velocity divided by time. So, substitute lang po natin, A is equal to 26 meter per second minus 0 divided by 0.008 seconds. So, ang atin pong acceleration is 3,250 meter per second squared. So, kukunin na po natin yung ating average force. F is equal to M times A. Substitute lang po natin, F is equal to 0.425 kg times 3,250 meter per second squared is equal to 1.4 kN. Dito po sa practice exercise 6, ang pinili ko pong problem ay yung problem 1. A mass of 1.5 kg moves in a circle of radius 25 cm at a constant 2.0 revolution per second. Calculate A. The tangential speed, B. The acceleration, and C. The required centripetal force for the motion. So, sa letter A po, ang ating given is R is equal to 25 cm or 0.25 meter. So, ang atin pong angular velocity is 4 pi radian per second. So, paano ko po nakuha yung 4 pi radian per second? So, di ba po, ang ating angular velocity kanina, dun sa problem is 2.0 revolution per second. So, para ma-convert po yon into radian per second is, ang ginawa ko po is 2 revolution times 2 pi rad per seconds over 1 revolution is equal to 4 pi radian per seconds. So, ang ating formula para makuha po natin yung tangential speed is V is equal to WR. So, isubstitute lang po natin. V is equal to 4 pi rad per seconds times 0.25 meters is equal to 3.1 meter per second. So, sa letter B naman po, ang tinatanong po o ang hinahanap po ay ang acceleration. So, ang formula po natin sa pagkuha ng acceleration is A is equal to W squared times R. So, substitute lang po ulit natin. A is equal to 4 pi rad per second squared times 0.25 meter is equal to A is equal to 39.48 meter per second squared. So, sa letter C naman po, ang hinahanap po is the required centripetal force for the motion. So, ang ginamit ko pong formula is F is equal to M times A. So, substitute lang po ulit natin. F is equal to 1.5 kg times 39.48 meter per second squared is equal to 59.22 Newton or 59 Newton. So, dito naman po sa practice exercise 7 is, ang problem po na pinili ko is yung problem 1. So, how large a force is required to accelerate a 1,300 kg car from rest to a speed of 20 meter per second in a distance of 80 meters? So, ang tinatanong po is how large a force. So, force po ang hinahanap natin. So, meron po tayong given na mass is equal to 1,300 kg and our speed or final velocity is 20 meter per second. So, the distance is equal to 80 meters. So, para po makuha po natin yung force, kailangan po muna natin ng acceleration. So, sa pagkuha ng acceleration, ang ating pong gagamitin ng formula is final velocity squared is equal to initial velocity squared plus 2AD. So, substitute lang po natin yung ating given, 20 meter per second squared is equal to 0 plus 2A times 80 meters. A is equal to 20 meter per second squared divided by 2 times 80 meters. So, A is equal to 400 meters squared per second squared times 160 meters. So, A is equal to 2.5 meter per second squared. So, ang atin pong acceleration ay A is equal to 2.5 meter per second squared. Meron na po tayong acceleration kaya makukuha na natin yung force. So, ang formula po natin sa pagkuha ng force is F is equal to M times A. So, substitute lang po natin, F is equal to 1,300 kilograms times 2.5 meter per second squared. So, ang atin pong sagot is F is equal to 3,250 Newton or 1,000 Newton is equal to 1 kN. So, ang atin pong pinaka-answer or final answer is F is equal to 3.3 kN. So, yun lang po. Thank you po.